Hi everyone, this is Marissa with Enchanted Ramblings, and this is a flip through of my book journal so far this year. So a few people have asked to see kind of how I'm using my book journal, and this is an A6 notebook from Hobonichi. It's just a little thing, and I love how tiny it is. It sits on my nightstand with my personal wellness tracking and a couple little extra notebooks for keeping track of books that I want to buy, things like that. But for the most part, this is more for me to keep track of everything that I'm reading in 2022, and as well as things like my reading habit and making notes about books as I read through them. So I've got a few things already set up in here that I've been using. I still haven't found a quote for the front page. It's kind of been I don't know. It's been a hard time trying to find a quote that I think fits this perfectly. And then the real first page is actually my reading intentions and goals. My goal is to complete 40 books in the year and to get 30 minutes of reading in every day. Typically, I will read for 20 or 30 minutes anyway, but just to kind of make it more intentional while I'm going through things and making sure that I'm actually tracking that correctly. And then a big, beautiful sticker. This is, okay, so this is Monty. He's my reading pal. This is a magnetic bookmark from Sweet Ava's Papery, and I love Monty the bat. He's so cute, and I had to have the one with the book stack, of course. We'll set him aside though, because he's adorable but distracting. So this is my book of the month sheet. I'm kind of trying to figure out how I'm qualifying them. For the most part, it's things that I loved, things that stood out to me over the course of the month. If there was a book that I completed that I went, oh my gosh, this was the favorite thing I read all month, then that's what goes here. So you can see for January, that was Kingdom of the Cursed. I've been waiting not so very patiently for that book to come out, and I finally got a chance to actually sit down and read it in January, and I was not disappointed in any way. I think Carrie is an excellent author, and she builds characters and worlds so well that I've already pre-ordered book 3 in that series. That's how good it was. So each month I'll have a separate book that is like my favorite, and I've left room here for me to jot down some thoughts if I want to make a note of why it was my favorite. Kingdom of the Curse was the first, so we'll see how the rest of them go. The next one is going to be if I have a favorite quote from a different, from my favorite book, something like that. I'll just leave a couple notes pages open for that. And then this is a really fun one. This is my 40 and 22. Like I said, I want to do 40 books, complete 40 books in an entire year, which last year I ended at 31, and I figured 40 was a nice step up. And then somehow in January, I actually read 14 books. Yeah, I don't know either. I was sick for a few days and I read a lot during those couple days, but 14 books seems like a lot to finish. And a lot of them are more like quick reads, or a couple of them were audiobooks I'd already started. There are some of these like The Highly Sensitive Person, Light Magic, For Dark Times. Those ones I'd already started before the beginning of the year, but I finished them in January, so that's where I'm qualifying them. And then I kind of have been on a binge with adult romance fantasy. So it's kind of made sense that a lot of my pictures are dark here. So this is just the pictures of the covers. I've printed them out off of the Goodreads pages, and I print them on my printer, and I just taped them in because I want to see, like, over the course of the year, do my reading tastes change? Do they fluctuate? And how much of that is like all in one genre? Like everything here, this is all the same genre, right? Like that one, that one, that one. There's very few things in here that are not adult romantic fantasy. Apparently, that's all I'm reading this year. So we'll see. how the rest of the spread fills out. And then I left room. I did mark off space for 40 covers, but I left room in case I end up going over. And it's a very good thing given the fact that I read 14 books in January and I'm already finished 4, and it's I'm filming this on February 6th. So it gives you an idea. I've really been blowing through books very quickly and way faster than I was anticipating. The next couple pages are series that I want to read, tracking, like this one's the Bloodfire Saga. This is the most of these books here, the Vampire King books. So I'm tracking when I read the book in the series, all of the different titles that are out. If there's a spot empty, it means that they haven't released the title yet, but I know that it's coming out sometime soon. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't think there's a release date for book number 8 in the Zodiac Academy yet. And if there is, I will have to write it in. But then, you know, filling in all the blanks to make sure. Some of these are series I've already read, like Hades and Persephone and the Hades Saga by Scarlett St. Clair. The Game of Retribution book is coming out in May, so I will reread the whole series up to that point, and then I'll mark it down at that point for those particular ones, because that's kind of the way that I do series. I binge the whole thing, and then if a new one comes out, then I have to go back to the beginning and reread it. So like the third Kingdom of the Wicked book comes out in September, and I will reread Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed right before Kingdom of Fear, the Feared, comes out, and that way it's all kind of fresh in my brain. So there's a couple of those, the series that I'm reading. And then this is my reading log. So every time I completed a book, I put it in here. If I start a book, I put it in here. And you can see there's a couple that I haven't finished yet because they're still in progress. So as I go through, I'll be marking down like what format do I own the book in? Do I own it, or did I, you know, borrow it from Kindle Unlimited? Did I do it from the library? Basic genre, fiction, nonfiction, just to kind of give myself a little bit of a statistic over what I'm reading and what I'm enjoying. And obviously I'm giving them there's some pretty good ratings on this list. I have not read a book yet this year that I didn't enjoy, so that's a good sign. And I left myself a few pages for extras of those. The next set of pages are going to be my to be read list by genre, and I have a massive TBR list that I want to translate into here. So I'm kind of pulling washi tape that matches the theme. So like this says classics and this says mystery. So I might have like I don't know, Sherlock Holmes washi tape, something like that. So these next set of pages, that's what those are. It's just, I haven't filled in my TBR lists yet because they're massive and I kind of need to break them down by genre. And then these are book releases by month. I totally spaced it in January. I have a list and I was going to go back in and write them in after the fact, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. For February, these are ones that I've already pre-ordered and maybe things that are coming out that I haven't pre-ordered. So I make a note next to it. So like these two for February, Once Upon a Bite, House of Sky and Breath, and The Altar Within. I've pre-ordered all of these. And then I've made a note about what format I've ordered them in. So like this one I've pre-ordered on Kindle, that one I have the Audible pre-ordered for because I have the first Crescent City book in Audible also. So I kind of keep them together, like the sets together. And I really enjoyed the first book in Audible format. So I imagine I'll probably enjoy the second one. And then The Altar Within is a hardcover pre-order. And I have those pre-ordered several books this year, which is unusual for me. Typically, I'll wait till the book comes out, but a lot of them, I want them just like the moment they arrive. So I have been pre-ordering a lot of Kindle books, especially because they just kind of pop in on my Kindle the morning they go live, and then I have them. So anything that I'm pre-ordering throughout the course of the year, I'm just jotting down into here any books that are coming out that I might want to read, that I want to check up on when they come out, that kind of thing. Will go into here. And then books that I finished, again, I've been taking notes on a little notepad because I hadn't set this up when I started reading in January. And I have the pictures of the covers, and then I'm going to go in and leave a write my own little kind of mini review for myself. And I've left myself quite a few pages for that because I just don't know how many books I'm going to read this year. And it can get quite a lot. But I'm also leaving space in between here for just general notes and things like that as I'm going through. And then back here, and this is marked in the, when it sits in my cover, because this is a traveler's notebook cover, I usually thread it through one of these bands. And this is the center part of that booklet. So this is where the band sits. So it made sense to kind of throw this here because then it's already marked easily. And this is my minutes read tracker. So this is a printable from Annie Plans. Yeah, from Annie Plans. This is her pixel year in pixels. And I just got the A6 one, printed it, cut it down. And then I'm using my dot pens for keeping track of how many minutes each day I'm reading. If it's a line, it means I didn't read that day. So you can see I read 20 days in January, and then for a total of 60 hours. And I have an app that keeps track while I'm reading, and it tells me like, oh, if you continue reading at this pace, you're going to finish the book in 2 hours and 14 minutes and 37 seconds or whatever. And it's based off of a couple of years of reading history for me. So it recognizes that I'm reading through things very quickly, but I'm also kind of color coding to see like if I only read somewhere between half an hour and an hour on any given day, then I have a red dot, which I don't have any red dots because I either only read a small amount, so maybe somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, or I read more than an hour. And so I have a lot of silver and I have a ton of gold, which is probably how I made it through so many books already. So as I'm building this out, I'll continue to do flip throughs as I update it, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys like the first glance look at it. And I really love it. I'm an avid reader already. And so having a place where I can just keep track of it all in one spot kind of makes me happy in a way that I didn't expect it to make me happy. Like I knew that reading makes me happy, but it didn't expect it to make me so happy to see like this page here with all of my little book covers, like that's fun. And it's just a kind of a cool visual representation. So I will, like I said, continue to do updates and flip throughs as time goes on. And as we move through the year, we'll see how many books I can actually manage to read in 2022, because I have a feeling if I'm already at 17 or 18 completed, I'm going to hit 40 before wait too long. And it's going to be interesting to see which ones kind of take the lead in my favorites over the months. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.